Mr. Scalise.
Gentleman from Louisiana is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the gentleman from Texas. Our country is facing tough economic times. But when you look across the country, you see families tightening their belts. You see states cutting back to balance their budgets. Washington seems to be the only place that's going on a wild spending spree during these tough economic times. We need to help our families and our businesses and our entrepreneurs by providing tax relief to create good jobs, rather than saddling our children and grandchildren with hundreds of billions of dollars in additional national debt. As we debate the importance of stimulating our economy, it's critical that we act responsibly and that we get it right this time. The Democratic leadership's massive spending bill does not do enough to help middle-class families and small businesses. A Congressional Budget Office report just came out saying that more than half of the Democrats' proposed spending bill won't even begin until after 2010. This defeats the purpose of stimulus. I've joined with other members of Congress to propose an alternative plan called the Economic Recovery and Middle Class Tax Relief Act of 2009. H.R. 470 focuses on cutting taxes to create jobs quickly and get our nation's economy back on track. Rather than adding hundreds of billions of dollars in new national debt, our alternative plan will create jobs by cutting taxes for middle-class families and small businesses, while also protecting future generations from reining in out-of-control spending here in Washington, D.C. When President Obama called on a bill to stimulate our nation's economy, I don't think he or the American people expected it to be hijacked by the liberals in Congress and turned into a big government spending bill. Last week, there were about a dozen Democrats who joined in a bipartisan vote against this massive spending bill. In fact, just yesterday, the Speaker of the House's spokesperson said of those voting against the spending bill, and I quote, "Many of the districts are more conservative and they campaigned on fiscal responsibility, and we understand that." What the Speaker of the House was saying there is that she's recognizing that people who voted against the bill last week were voting for fiscal responsibility. The American people are learning more about this bill every day, and they're starting to recognize that it is nothing more than a wild spending bill of failed old big government programs. We need to set a different path. We need to get it right this time. We need to pass a bill that actually cuts taxes and gets our economy back on track, and I yield the balance of my time. Thank you.
The gentleman from Texas. The gentleman from Virginia.
Madam Speaker, I yield.